Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for that. Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Today's video, I'm going to be explaining how you can obtain over $11,000 a month in compensation from the VA. So make sure you stick around. Okay, so how can you receive over $11,000 a month in compensation from the VA? But before I start to show my slides and get into today's video, not everyone is entitled to this. But if you are, or you know someone that's entitled to receive this compensation, I'm going to show you how. So let's go ahead and get into it. Slide number one. Here in slide number one, this is the M21-1, and it is a SMC. And we all should know what an SMC is, especially my subscribers, people that have worked with me, previous clients, current clients. SMC stands for Special Monthly Compensation. Okay? Now, it says PL 85-782, effective October 1st, 1958, established a new level of SMC under 38 USC 114R. That is SMC R. There's two separate types of SMC Rs, 1 and 2. 2 being the highest compensation, okay? It says entitlement was awarded if the veteran met the following criteria. So this is the criteria for SMC R and R2 that will give you over that $11,000 a month compensation. The veteran was entitled to the maximum rate under either SMC O or SMC P and was in the need of regular A&A, which is aid in attendance. What is the SMC for that? SMC L is for aid in attendance. Now, SMC O, you see I have highlighted in red, or SMC P. They need that. And was in need of regular A&A, which is SMC L. So the veteran can already have SMC O with SMC L or SMC P with SMC L. All right, especially monthly compensation. So let's keep going. Slide number 2. Now, this is 38 USC code 1114, which we just saw, but this is for SMC O. Now, this US code was long. I didn't go through and copy everything. Okay, there's a lot of SMCs out there. So keep in mind, SMCs, majority of the time, once you get to a certain level of SMCs, you're at 100%. Okay, so there's different payouts. Like let's say SMC K, I think it's around $130, $135 a month. And I'm going to show you the payout for SMC R1 and R2 with a veteran at 100%. Okay, so this is the criteria for SMC O. Again, this USC code was very long. I didn't copy all of it. This is just the SMC O part. Now, this states what I have highlighted, I'm sorry, not highlighted, but underlined. If the veteran has suffered bilateral deafness and the hearing impairment is either one or both ears service connected, rated at 60% or more disabling, and the veteran has also suffered service-connected total blindness with 22/200. Now, their hearing loss, what do they say? 60% in 1 or 2 ears or less, or if the veteran has suffered service-connected total deafness in 1 ear or bilateral deafness and the hearing impairment is either 1 or both ears, is service-connected, rated at 40%. These SMCs, trust me, when you get up in the M, N, O, half step and all this stuff, it gets technical. Okay? It gets very technical, and as a rater, you have to use what is called a SMC calculator that the VA gives you. If not, your code sheet is going to be screwed up. And the person that has the second sign, actually, some of these has to be signed off by 2 additional people other than the rater, just to double check. That's how complex they are, okay? Then it goes on to say, only light perception or less if the veteran has suffered the anatomical loss of both arms with factors that prevent the use of prosthetic appliances. The monthly compensation shall be $4,667. That's on top of the 100%, if the veteran has 100%. Okay, so let's keep going. Slide number 3. This is the same USC code, but it's for SMC P. Okay, we went over O because in the first slide it said in order to get SMC R, you needed O or P with SMC A and A in attendance, which is SMC L. I hope I'm not confusing people, okay? A lot of people say, hey, Dwayne, you need to speed up. Oh, you need to slow down. Okay, so I'm gonna try to be somewhere in the middle. So SMC P, you can see what I have highlighted in bolded, okay? And I'm not gonna go through all of those, but the first sentence, in the event veteran has suffered service-connected blindness with 5/200 visual acuity or less, and one has also suffered bilateral deafness, hearing impairment in either one or both ears is service connected. So SMCs, you have to be service connected, okay? Deafness and rated at no less than 30% disabling, okay? Now, towards the bottom, look at the payouts, the different payouts, okay? But it's for different ones. So it says, but in no event in excess of 4667, in the event the veteran has suffered service-connected blindness, having only light perception, then it gives a payout for that. And then the third one is, in the event veteran has suffered anatomical loss or loss of use, or a combination of anatomical loss or loss of use, there's a different payout. So there's 3 ways in order to get SMC P, all right? So that's why I tell veterans it's so important to get that rating code sheet. I have a video on my channel where I explain what is a rating code sheet. I give an example in my book, okay, for the example of a rating code sheet. You have to be service connected. These conditions that they're talking about with the percentages, guess where you can find them? On the rating code sheet and in the rating decision as well. Let's keep going. Slide number 4. Okay, whoo. This is bringing back some memories. And I'm going to give you all some examples of when I rated some SMC R1s and R2s, okay? So this is a rating code sheet showing a combined evaluation for compensation for special monthly compensation. Now, this, if any VA employees see this, they're gonna say, oh, Dwayne, you showed SMC O and SMC P and the code sheet don't match that. I got this from the M21-1. They actually give examples of what an SMC code sheet should look like. Now, the example that they gave fits this particular SMC code sheet, okay? So the veteran has SMC L, SMC L1, and SMC P, okay? And here's the breakdown of what it looks like. Trust me, these are not easy claims. They are not, okay? I've only rated a handful of them, and all of them were, I don't want to say bad, but they took a lot of time, okay? So you got SMC coding. An example of SMC coding is shown in the table below. Now, this is just one level, effective date. I've seen where it would be 8 or 9 different effective dates. So the rater has to figure that out based on which SMC is being granted and what the effective date is. And then they have to figure out the basic hospital loss of use, anatomical loss, and other loss. That's the code for that SMC. And that's where the SMC calculator comes into play. And believe you me, it is not easy. Okay, let's keep going. Slide number 5. This is the payout. Now, I had to do some cutting and pasting when I went to the SMC compensation because it gave some other numbers, okay? So what I want to draw your attention to, this is basic SMC rates, dependent status with one child, spouse, and one parent. And then the second one is with one child, spouse, and two parents, okay? SMC R1 with the first one, with one child, spouse, and one parent, $98.54. The second one, $10,021. You go up to R2, that's where it gets over 11,000. Okay, so with one child, spouse, and one parent, 11,225. With one child, spouse, and two parents, $11,392. Okay, 11,000 plus. Now, I know that I probably just confused the heck out of you. And a lot of you are going to say, Dwayne, why'd you do this video? I don't even qualify. But there are some veterans out there that do. Also, there's some veterans out there that know other veterans that meet this criteria and are not getting these SMCs O, P, SMC L, and bumping them up to SMC R1 or SMC R2. Now, give me an example of one SMC, I think it was either R1 or R2 that I granted. And I remember this. And every time I did an SMC R1 or R2, I took the next day off because it was a lot. It literally took, sometimes, I think one took a day and a half. So you're talking about 12 hours to rate one claim. Now, it's not one veteran's claim. The number of conditions probably were up around, 25, 30. Okay, and here's why. Or here's an example. Young Marine veteran, I think he was maybe like 25, 24, 25. He had took some pills. I don't know if he took them to help him sleep or whatever. They was prescribed pills. I think he took too many. Girlfriend woke up during the middle of the night. He wasn't breathing. She called 911. Paramedics came and they revived him. And then I started looking and I'm like, wait a minute. He's still on active duty, but he's been in a VA medical center for over a year and a half. What is going on here? Because I had never seen this before. Make a long story short, the veteran could not communicate verbally, had no other ways of communicating, could not walk, could not talk, could not feed himself, could not bathe himself, nothing. Couldn't even roll over in the bed, had no body function whatsoever, okay? So I believe I ended up granting SMC R2. Veteran was 100%. I think he had maybe like 5 different conditions, all at a single 100%. Yes, you heard me. He had at least 5 conditions and they were all at 100%. That's not including other service-connected conditions. So I had to grant SMC, I believe it was R2, special adaptive housing, special housing and adaptation. I had the auto allowance, all of that stuff. The only time that this veteran was able to leave the house was when they had to go in for a specific appointment. Other appointments like physical therapy, nursing care, they all came to the house. And all his funds were in his parents' name because he needed 24/7 care. Now, I've seen other veterans that were SMC R, right? R1, that they were able to talk and walk, but they had really a lot of physical disabilities that they were service connected for, okay? So this is something that, I don't wish on any veteran, but unfortunately, some veterans, whether it be due to combat, training accident, or whatever, they fall in this category where they warrant this particular benefit. Now, I even had a client that I educated a few years back. He took that education. About a year later, he says, hey, Dwayne, I did my dad's claim and I helped my mom with my dad's claim, Vietnam vet, and he got SMC R1. What does that mean? Took him right to the compensation rate table. And they did an intent to file, And guess what that back pay looked like? Because this vet wasn't getting anything. Not only get 100%, went up to SMC R1 with over about a year back pay, okay? So I don't like getting too in depth in these SMCs once they get past L because they can be very confusing. Look at the M21-1 that I showed you. Look at the 38 USC code that I showed you because I didn't copy all of that USC code, only the O and the P. If you feel you qualify, have someone to walk you through it. If you feel you know someone that, or think you know someone that qualifies, they have a caregiver, walk them through it, show them this video. Also, I have videos showing veterans how to search the M21-1. When you get at this level, you have to invest the time. I've seen accredited agents and lawyers did not understand this because that's how complex it is. And again, when I rated these cases, the next day I took off work because my brain was it was fried. It's a lot of information. And real quick, I had a supervisor gave me a SMC R1, that one took me about a day. Come back to work the next day, and guess what he do? He gives me another SMC R1 case. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. And that was probably the best time for me to rate that case because the previous one, a lot of that information was still in my head, instead of waiting another year or year and a half or two to rate one of those. They're very difficult. And again, if you or anyone that you know may meet this criteria, show them this video so they can go out, search the M21-1, look at their USC code as well, and get the right information. So with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, make sure you share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.